This video was a part of AttainU live class. To join our software engineering program, please go to our website. HTML5 supports loading custom fonts for your web pages. In this video, we are going to see how we can use fonts from external services like Google Fonts. We'll be also looking into iframes, which can embed other independent web pages in your page.
The popular operating system out there, including Android and all. But you can also include an external font in your web page. By that I mean, if you are a big company, for example, say you are Microsoft, right? And you have a custom branding, custom font for all your text, images, brochures, and notice boards and everything, right? And if you have access to that font, you can use that in your HTML and CSS page, right? You can also use fonts hosted by there are like all these services in the web which host a lot of fonts and all, right? I will show you an example for that. I'll show you how to select a font from Google Font, which is a popular service that hosts a lot of fonts and all, right? So let me open Google Fonts. Yeah. So this is the Google Font site, and you can see there are like all kind of fancy fonts out there. I hope you guys are familiar with the font concept, right? It's simple, like simply the typeface you see in in your computer, right? Let me select a good font. This looks fancy. This looks like a handwriting font, right? So there are other services out there too. For example, Microsoft has its own font, sharing, website. I think Adobe has also one. Google fonts are the popular ones at the moment, right? So I'm just using that for the time being. But the process of using that font, even for those uploaded fonts by yourself, is basically the same, right? So in Google Fonts, you like a font. For example, I like this guy here, and I click the plus button here, add button here, and it will give me a place like this. And I click on that, it will give me all the info for me to use that font in my web page, right? First, you have to get a CSS like this, comes to the link tag. You basically copy paste it and put it in your HTML. Before all your CSS. We don't have a reset file. I'll just simply delete that. Yeah, so you put it like this here. You just put it above your style space tag, and in your style sheet again, in your CSS, Google is giving you the exact instruction to do that, right? You copy paste the font family property to whichever element you want to make this, right? I will close this. So here I want to put the font family, right? And then you refresh. We can see that your site is actually doing that, right? So this is how web typography is done in your HTML pages. You basically either use your own font or get a font from like a popular hosting service like Google Font. You saw how Google Font work, right? You will get a CSS code which you'll paste in your HTML element like this, and you can put the font family in either the body tag or whichever body tag you want to apply your that particular style, right? So that's web typography. It's actually like most of these websites, right? For example, if you go to any popular website, they don't use the default font that comes with your system, right? For example, this is the default font comes with with my browser, right? It is not a very beautiful font, I would say, right? And most of these big companies have their own like fonts and all. Like Google has their own fonts. So you'll be most of your web apps you'll be you'll be using like different kind of fonts too, right? Nobody goes with like default fonts these days, right? Yeah, so somebody is asking, is this the way you use libraries also? Yes, this is how you mainly use CSS libraries. Quick demo, for example, you use Bootstrap. You either either download it and use it in your website itself, or use go to the documentation and basically link their own hosted version of CSS for that, right? So this is how you use that thing. And again, it's you're familiar, link tag only. It's only that the font and everything will be hosted in a different server, right? And you have to give an absolute path for that, right? Cool. Hope that made sense. So yeah, that's with typography. Sorry, I keep pronouncing it in a different way. Web typography for you. You see how you can include other fonts in your web page, right? So that's that. Next one is how to use multimedia, in your web page, right? For example, how to use audio and video in your web page, right? For this example, I have actually downloaded, two files here, so that I can, show it there, right? For example, this is my demo folder right here, and you can see, like a video here, an audio here, which is basically a male saying some, English words, and a video here, which will basically, what it will show? It will basically show a skiing, a mountain with snow and all, right? And I have kept these two files here, right? So when you're trying example, you download some sample audio or video files from somewhere, and put it in your folder, right? And this is how you put audio and video in your web page. One second, did I miss something here? No, nothing. Cool. So yeah, so audio and video, right? Yeah, so I'll delete all these things. So for that we have a tag called audio tag, right? Which takes an attribute called src, which should be the file name of the audio file, right? And in our case, this is audio.ogg, right? OGG is a file format like MP3. So I just downloaded that. It's a commonly supported, file format across all the browsers. So this is the thing, audio element here, and you put a src here, right? Like img, img tag, where you put src for an image file, right? You refresh, you probably won't be able to see nothing here depending on the browsers you use. To show something in an Android control or something, you have to use an attribute called controls, and basically give it, you can just leave it like this, or if you prefer, you can put something like control is equal to true. Come back and refresh page, you'll get a nice control for your audio page there, right? So you can click on that, and basically I can now hear somebody talking. So that's my audio element being played right there, right? There's nothing more to this. This is simply how we put an audio in your our web page, right? Yeah. And similarly, to put a video, I put a line right here. Put a video in your web page, you simply give video tag and give an src attribute and the video right there, right? Right, like audio. You refresh and you can see, I'll just resize the page here so that guys can see it. Yeah, see the thumbnail right here, but there's no control or anything. So similarly for controls are those pause, play, volume button and all, right? Yeah, we will give it a controls is equal true, and you can see all the controls came up. You press click and the audio will start playing there, right? So this is how you put audio and video in your HTML document. Yeah, this is a nice video of a guy jumping over a bus. Yeah, anyway, so this is how you do it, and this can be an absolute file, a relative file like I've used here, which I posted or I kept on my website, or it can be some video file which you have stored on somewhere else, right? Like for example, if you have used some video file on your Google Drive, you can put that link here so that your website will show that video, right? Most popular options like using YouTube video or in your web page actually don't use video tag. It actually use something called iframes, which you can put it in your HTML page, right? We are going to cover iframes next. So that's audio and video, basically audio tag and video tag, and it takes two attributes, controls and source attributes, right? Yeah, we have a question. Naresh is asking, it can take any audio format. So it depends, Naresh. So most of the systems, especially browsers, can play this .ogg format out there. MP3 and M4, MP3 and MP4 by default, I think Windows is able to play, but in Linux there are some issues with MP4 files and all. Again, it depends upon the system and the codecs you have, installed on your system. So to be on safer side, people actually convert most of their videos into OGG format. Google, as YouTube by default does this. When you upload a MP4 thing, it will actually convert it into a safe HTML, format, this OGG and all, OGV and all, and uses that. So you can also do the same if you are on the thing. This OG open video formats, you can Google to know more about it, is more popular to use that. But yeah, you are free to use any format you want as long as your system supports it, right? So Divya is asking, we can take link of audio and video, or we have to save these files in Visual Studio. You can take the links. For example, this audio can be uploaded somewhere, and we can take the link for that, right? More technically, we can say this link can be either relative or absolute, right? Absolute, absolute video link, means that file is located somewhere in a site or something, right? So it can take both of those links, right? Srinivas, for absolute videos we use iframes? Not necessarily. I talked about iframes because Google don't let you, link specifically to a video, right? It don't give you a direct link to a video, right? Otherwise, all these people will be able to download videos easily, right? Of course, there are plugins and extensions to do that, but they don't give a direct link to the video file or audio file, directly to your website, right? So you have to embed a part of their website to your website using iframes, right? We're going to cover iframes next. Any doubts there on audio video thing? Play with it. Download some videos, make a small page like YouTube and play with it. That's how you learn. Okay, cool. So that's audio and video. Next is okay. Next one is iframe. So iframe lets you actually embed or put some part of other website into your website. Again, for example, if you want to show some part of Google Map page, you can use iframe to show that part of map to your website, right? Or similarly, if you want to show a YouTube video into your web page, it is actually usually done by an iframe, right? And similarly, if you want to show like a section of Twitter or a section of Facebook feed in your web page, you can use iframe to do that, right? So this is best shown by an example, right? For example, you are creating a page where it shows a map, right? For example, you are, you have a company called Awesome Company, right? Awesome Company, and you are creating a section where people can go and see a map in the contact us section. This is a contact us page, right? So I refresh this, I'll get something like this, right? Oh, I'm using that font again. Anyway, I'll get something like this, right? And this is how you embed another page into your a page here, right? Perfect example is Google Maps. So go to Google Maps and I put say something like say Kapan Park, which is a very famous park here in Bangalore. And if you want to put this particular piece of map in your web page, you can do this here. Again, this it differs from website to website, but the tag is same. Iframe tag is used to do this, and that tag is same in all cases. But the way of embedding the page differs from service to service, right? This is how you do it in Google Maps, right? You click on share, and you could embed a map tag, and you could tag like this, right? And you copy paste that, you close map, you come back to your HTML, you put that tab here, right? And if you look at the tag here, it's basically a tag called iframe, right? Which takes the following form. So iframe, and put a tab here, and you have to put a source here, right? The source should be the URL or the website that you want to show it here, right? So this is the basic syntax for iframe here. And Google Map gave us a few extra things like the width and size of these things. You can basically control the width and size here, right? And you save this, You refresh your gap and you get a good, map here, right here, right? It shows a map of Carbon Park, right? You can put anything there, right? So just node map, you can put, so you saw how a map came here, right? So it's just node map. You can, actually put like, anything right there. For example, if you want to show, as long as the, as long as the site supports that embedding part, you can put any site here. For example, if I put AttainU here, I hope AttainU supports embedding, but let's see. The page is loading, something is happening. Yeah, I think it's showing up. Yeah, so you can see the AttainU site here, right? Yeah, you can give the, width is equal to 500 pics, possibly 500, and height is equal to say 700 to control the size of this, attribute too. So here using an iframe tag, we embedded another website here. In this case, it's AttainU. Keep in mind, some websites don't do that, don't allow that. So when you put an iframe and put some random website here and it's not showing to, it's not coming up, it doesn't mean that your code is wrong. It simply means that that website don't support embedding content, right? And I showed you an example for Google Map, right? Try an example with YouTube, right? For example, go to YouTube and say Avenger trailer, and you go to the Avenger trailer right here, and there should be some way where you can get the embedding code here, right? It should be here, embed, yeah, and you can get the iframe code here, right? And if you copy paste that here and you refresh the page, you'll get that YouTube video right there, right? So this is how do you do that, right? Try some, try embedding some YouTube videos, or try also do something like embedding a Twitter stream to your page and to get familiarized with the iframe tag, right? Sami, you want me to show again how to embed the Google Maps page? Sure. So you go to Google Maps. Yeah. So you type any location you want. You type any place you want. Let me share a location, a restaurant probably. Like one of my which restaurant? For example, I like this Sharif Bhai here, which is a very good restaurant. You get like all kind of really awesome biryanis there. Maybe at the end of this 6 months, we can take all of you guys for a lunch out here, something. Anyway, so you got a place here in Google Maps. You click on share. You get the embedded map here, and simply this source right here, right? You select that, copy, and copy paste that in your HTML code. That's it. And if you look at this, it's basically an iframe tag with a source attribute that points to a Google Map page, right? And you refresh, you'll get Sharif Bhai there right for you, right? Yeah. So we have questions. Google Maps, yeah. I mean, Sharif Bhai is something. I mean, they hired a new cook, and the quality of their biryani went like 10x. I can eat biryani all day from them. Just putting more weight. Anyway, yeah, Sharif Bhai is really good. I think they are there in Hyderabad and Mumbai and all, but the one here in Koramangala and Bangalore is really good. Yeah. So Ravi Shankar, yeah, we should do that. We should do that. Cool. So that's how do you embed Ravi Shankar, we have Paradise. Yeah, I heard about it. One day I will check it out. Cool. So yeah, so that's how you do embedding using the iframe tag. Yes. Biryani has turned on a lot of conversation for a lot of people. Cool. So yeah, so that's how we basically embed these things. So that's the last set of things I want to show you guys. These tags and these some CSS attributes required some special mentioning. That's why I showed it here. here in our demo. There are many more tags out there. There are many more CSS properties and values out there. I'm going to show you a few extra resources where you can learn about all these things. Some of the important things, tags, we have covered so far, and tomorrow we are going to see some important CSS properties and values too, especially those alignments and positioning things like float and all. And also we're going to see how we can use CSS to animate certain things or put some shadows, some transition effects and all. So we are going to look into this. Anything other than these things I'm not going to cover in the live lecture, but you can always read them in the extra links I will be sharing with you guys, right? So please find some time to do that and learn more about these new or extra tags that we haven't covered here, and try to understand why we use that. And if something that is not making any sense, please let me know. I will explain it during one of my live lecture, right? Oh, sorry, Srinivas, I missed your question. How to make our website embed to others, right? It's a simple thing. Basically, we create a website. For example, we create a page of your company, say Awesome Company, and we put it on a website called awesomecompany.com, right? That's our domain, right? And in the other website, we put an iframe tag there, and that their source will be www.awesomecompany.com, whichever page you want to embed, right? Basically, instead of putting an iframe here, we'll put an iframe there and put our website there, right? And you need permissions to do that. You cannot simply go to any website and embed our website there. You need permissions to create HTML.
This video is created for the purpose of distribution through AttainU and programming knowledge channels.